Several curbs and restrictions are being eased today as lockdown enters phase 3. Several activities have been allowed, but certain activities are still not allowed across India, and those include mass transport, schools, colleges, the hospitality sector. So what's open with curbs? Well, offices allowed in red zones with curbs. Private offices with up to 33% staff can return to work today. All others will work from home. All government offices with senior officers of deputy secretary rank and above will be working at full strength. Other staff in government offices at 33%, defence, security services, police, fire, emergency services, customs, etc. will also be allowed. Well, we'll be taking you through all of that in just a bit, but let's focus actually state by state at this point to get us the latest. Now, Delhi, we heard Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal talk at length about how it was time to reopen Delhi, and if we can move on to our Delhi-specific information now. Arvind Kejriwal had said that Delhi was in talks with the centre about what can be opened up. Well, from today, private offices can open in Delhi with 33% staff strength. Standalone shops of even non-essential items will be allowed to open. The government has also permitted the services of laundries and domestic helps, liquor and tobacco shops also allowed with certain conditions. So, Kirti joining us with more on all of this right now. So, Kirti, you know, what's the sense you're getting? It's still fairly early in the morning, but more people on the streets already?
Well, Ankita, not as of now. We've not seen too many people on the streets. As far as what are the changes that the Delhiites are likely to witness today. So we're standing in RK Puram. Many of these shops that you see that are not part of a big complex that are just on the street. So these are electronic shops. They are likely to open from today. These markets usually tend to open. These shops usually tend to open around 10 a.m. or so. So then we'll get the real picture. So shops of non-essential commodities can open from today. That will be a big change for Delhiites. So a footwear shop will be allowed to open, a shop of clothing will be allowed to open. Those are the kind of permissions that are available from today. And also very importantly, the services of domestic health and laundry, as you mentioned, those will also be permitted. But of course, two hindrances that people may face, people who are into these services. Firstly, there may be RWAs that may still not allow these people because that has something that we've been observing in the past few days. As well as the other obstruction can be the fact that there is still a lack of public transport. Public transport is only being provided to staff of hospitals or people who provide other essential services. So in the lack of public transport and other rules that residential societies individually may put in keeping all of those factors in place, but their government permissions are in, so hopefully by 10 or 11 a.m. we should be seeing more shops open up today. Ankita.
All right, so Kirti, we'll keep coming back to you for more updates as Delhi sees those significant easing of restrictions today. Well, in Maharashtra, some of the economic activities that are allowed in all the COVID zones except containment areas are standalone liquor shops, cabs with a maximum of 2 passengers and e-commerce deliveries for essential items, of course. Now, medical OPDs across zones will be open, and bank and finance and courier and postal services will also be functional from today. Let's take a closer look at Punjab, and Ghazali is joining us with more on that. Ghazali, give us a sense of how things are going to be eased from today.
Yeah, all the essential services shops, the first thing is the goods, groceries and the medicines shops will be open. But the confusion remains because the entire power of relaxation in curfew or timing is still up to the competent authorities in every district. It depends upon the deputy commissioners. Now, those deputy commissioners or the districts which have more cases in the recent time, like in the last 48 or 72 hours, those deputy commissioners have not allowed the relaxations to be implemented as of now. Like Mohali, which comes in the Tri-City and which is part of Punjab, the deputy commissioner says that the relaxations will not be as of what has been announced by the state government. Like the state government has announced that the timing will be from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. But he says that these relaxations won't work as of now because most of the deputy commissioners have not received the written orders. But it is still early in the morning and it will take some time, as like in Chandigarh, if we see the timings are, the shops will be open from 10 to 6 in the evening. but people will be are allowed to come out from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So there is still some confusion in timings, but the most important point is that the shops of essential services like vegetables, medicines, grocery stores, they all will be allowed to open in urban and rural areas. Most important point is Punjab and Haryana, they both demanded the center that the liquor vents should be allowed to open in this relaxation period or in the third lockdown 3.0. But still, neither Punjab nor Haryana has issued any notification or orders to open the liquor vents also.
Right.
So that also remains one of the major demands from this region, but the
all right,
government has not
Ghazali,
implemented
thanks
it
very
yet.
much for that update. Let's also get a sense from Ratnadeep on how things are going to work in Assam. Ratnadeep?
That's right, Ankita. In fact, from today in Assam, out of 33 districts, 29 districts are in green zone. So almost all activities in these green zones are going to open up. There are 4 districts in orange zone where the restriction would remain in place. If actually you can see behind me in the roads there are more traffic. I can also see 1 or 2 city buses plying. So in Guwahati, the city buses would be plying, but with only 50% occupancy and maintaining social distances, and about 100 city buses would be plying. The cab services, Ola and Uber, both would ply, so as our auto rickshaws. Now what will happen in Assam is that all the standalone shops and will be open from today, and all the shops in marketplaces will be open in a manner where in a market if there are 100 shops, then 1/3 of the shops will be open. But this will not be open from today because the district administration will talk to the market committees, market associations to find out, to formalize a roster which all 1/3 shops would remain open on which day. So there would be a roster system which would come in. Now what would happen in Assam is that the restaurant will open up only for takeaways. So there will be no dine outs, but only takeaways. Restaurant would get open. So would be the food delivery services, including the online apps. So e-commerce have been completely opened up in Assam. So this is going to be a big respite for the people. Also the inter-district movement of people would take place only during daytime, because Assam government has decided to impose a curfew between 6 p.m. in the evening to next day, 6 a.m. So all the movement, all the activities in Assam would take place from morning 6 a.m. till 5 p.m. because 1 hour time between 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. has been given to people to get back to their houses, because from 6 p.m. curfew would remain imposed across Assam.